Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Rich. Welcome to Sorta Professional, the most successful podcast that equals a North Korean missile test.
I think you should have worked a little bit more on that intro there,
So then do it again.
because it didn't really make any sense.
I'll get rid of it then.
We're not going to do it again,
Why not?
because I like having you fucking up right here at the beginning of our
Nobody
podcast.
listens to this for you anyway, so.
That's true.
Because you don't speak loud enough.
I just figured that out.
Because you don't speak loud enough.
I speak as loudly as I can without yelling.
I actually fucked up my own joke, but we're going to leave it that way.
You really did fuck that joke
Because
up.
I really didn't want to do it after I did it. I'm tired today. Last week you were tired. This week I'm tired.
The podcast that's as successful as a North Korean nuclear test.
That's what I was supposed to say, but
Yeah.
my brain didn't work.
I can tell.
Still made it funny though now. So there you go. So how you doing? I don't want any awkward pauses.
Well, why not? I like awkward pauses.
You're one big awkward pause.
I tend to be, yeah.
No, not 10. R.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that a compliment?
You should use it as a pickup line.
Use it as a pickup line.
Hello, ladies. I'm one big awkward pause. For some reason I made you with the quagmire. All right.
My favorite pickup line was always, you have the napkin in your hand and you sniff the napkin. You hold it out to the lady and go, "Does this smell like chloroform to you?"
I don't think I've ever heard that in my life.
You've never heard that one?
No. Then again, my friends didn't chloroform women, so.
That's true. Neither have I.
Apparently. I don't know what's going on, folks.
No,
but if I stop talking, it's because Matt chloroformed me.
Weird Al had a good one, too. In his song, "I Want to Be Your Lover."
Anytime when you mention the name Weird Al, you know it's not going to be serious.
Yeah. What was it? "You must have fallen from heaven. That would explain how you messed up your face." I like that one.
I like that, too. Can't believe I messed up my own joke.
Well, we can get off of that. I don't think we need to rag on you all episode.
Yeah, but I don't like to mess things up like that. I consider myself a humorous person. Sorry.
There's an awkward pause because I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Because obviously you've picked me to film your podcast with because I'm not a humorous person.
Film?
Yeah, it's filming.
Is there a camera here that I'm unaware of?
It's in Batman over there.
Because I'm one of those paranoid assholes that tapes over their webcam on their laptop.
Me too, but that's only because I don't want anybody seeing what I'm doing. A lot of times it involves no pants.
Yeah. And we're moving off of that topic.
I have most of my meetings with no pants on, to tell you the truth. Just make sure you don't get up.
I was about to say, turn the camera off before you stand up.
Yeah, I've never taken a client into the bathroom with me yet.
I would hope not.
Yeah, depends on the client.
As long as you don't have a microphone clipped to you that sends noises to when you go to the
If they
bathroom.
haven't paid me in a while, they might be going with me.
Was that Naked Gun?
Yes. Forgot about those movies. I used to love Neudberg till he murdered his family.
I try to forget about those movies.
Why?
The third one, I think.
Oh, it's the best one.
Nah, I don't think so.
Nice beaver.
I don't think so. That was the one that started off. What was it with the Queen of England?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pap smear. He goes to the sex store and he's got the big dildo on the chainsaw.
Yeah, those movies got a little ridiculous for me. I'm not a big fan of ridiculous humor.
So you've never seen Spaceballs?
I've seen Spaceballs, and there was one good joke in that movie. I think
I've
one
seen-
really good joke.
I've
There were
seen
other
that
good
movie.
jokes in there.
Over 1,000 times.
Best joke in that movie is when they're looking at the movie itself to figure out where.
Are you looking
they
at
are.
now? What's happening now is happening now. What happened to then? We passed then? When? Just now? We'll go back to now. We can't. Why? We missed it. When?
You know that scene by heart, huh?
Yeah, I cut out a part because I could tell you were falling asleep. But yeah, I do know. I know that whole movie by heart.
Rich, I would never fall asleep when you're telling a story.
It's kind of hard to, because I'd smack you if you did.
Yeah, you probably would.
So far, we haven't mentioned comics once.
No, not once. Not once. It's
That's
been
good for all our two listeners.
been about 5 minutes now.
Our two
And,
listeners. There's a lot of comics on my table right now.
Yeah, there are. You just bought yourself a big what do you say? Liquidation. Yeah.
It's just my friend getting rid of his shit. Somebody else's trash is now mine.
And I finally have a copy of the Batman Anniversary issue 400. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I knew you wanted that.
Yeah, been looking for that for a while now.
See, it's good to be my friends. I
if
treat them well. Enemies, not so much.
No, I'm one of those people that'll buy a phone book if it has Stephen King's name on it. So when I saw that, I said I have to have that.
I'm not a big book guy, just comic books. Timothy Zahn, I think, is the only one. Did I say his name right?
Yeah.
Rob will flip out if I don't.
No, you got it. Yeah,
I met him a couple of times.
He
too.
just released a new book actually.
Yeah, the Thrawn book.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the Celebration one, but I decided not to.
I haven't read it yet. According to Rob, it's really good.
You read it already?
I haven't. He has.
What did he speed read it?
He finished that book overnight.
What? Did you read the Ahsoka book?
I think he mentioned that he might have. He's not a big fan of the newer Star Wars books.
Yeah, I could tell that when
he thinks they've been a lot of trash.
See, the cartoons for me is what saved me from not watching Star Wars anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clone Wars.
I don't know. I tried to watch a bit of Rebels.
Rebels is best after Episode 6, believe it or not, of the first season.
I didn't even start from the first season. I started from the first episode of the third
Darth Vader.
season.
The third season.
Yeah.
Oh, so you wanted to watch it for Thrawn. So you had no idea what was going on.
That trailer was amazing.
He's missing stuff for me. Like, where's this lizard that he had in the book? I forget his name. He's just, and he needs Joris Cabello yelling at him.
I remember somebody said to him, I can't remember if it was Twitter or Facebook. It might have been an AMA on Reddit. They said with the release of the new book and with Thrawn appearing in Rebels, are we finally going to figure out how to pronounce the name of the Dark Jedi?
Joris Cabello. That's how I say it.
I have no idea.
So you like Thrawn?
I liked Thrawn in the what was the name of that the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah.
I never read the duology that came after that.
Yeah, neither did I.
But I really enjoyed him in that. I thought
because they're making a Black Series figure of him. And he comes with his collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of San Diego Comic-Con. Huh. Make it even harder to get.
Yeah, it will.
I'll set you up.
I never liked con exclusive things because I want them.
Yeah, and if you want them outside of the con, like there's a He-Man show coming up, and there's 2 3-packs. 3 of them are new characters they didn't make from the '88 line that was canceled, and 3 comic book versions. And it costs $310 to get both sets shipped to you.
I have the Art FX Nightwing.
Yeah.
It's got the red.
Yeah.
Apparently, I think it was actually a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive with blue.
Mm-hmm.
With his blue
the correct
symbol on there. Yeah, exactly. And I looked at it on eBay. It was like $300.
Yeah.
And, I'd love to have it.
That's not bad for a statue, though.
But I don't have $300 to drop.
Well, yeah, if you don't have $300, that's bad.
I mean, I got the other one.
You sound like the guy from The Simpsons.
Where'd I get the other one?
Free Frogurt. That's good.
$55, I think the other Nightwing was.
Yeah, the Artifact stuff is surprisingly cheap until it goes out of circulation. Yeah, and then it's.
That's why I try to get them before they go out of circulation.
I have Ahsoka from Clone Wars, and she's like a $400 piece now.
I probably should get Batman just to complete the Bat family.
You don't have any Batman stuff.
I don't.
What the fuck?
A lot of the Batman stuff that I see is just him standing there.
That's what he does.
And I'd rather have a bit more action involved.
He did do that in the current issue. He stood an awful lot and got his ass kicked.
Okay, let's start talking about that. I have no problem talking about that. I was hoping for something different than what.
Yeah, it didn't start the way I thought it would. I felt like I immediately had to put that book down, go on eBay, and find the Flashpoint books because I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, you've never read Flashpoint?
No, I stopped reading.
I think I had Flashpoint. If you just called me, I could.
I wanted to. I need more explanation. Like what happened to Zoom? I didn't know Zoom was dead.
Zoom was.
I knew that was Thomas Wayne only because I've seen the Flashpoint cartoon.
Zoom was killed by Thomas Wayne.
Okay, but obviously not. And then
Zoom figures that if he can't, get revenge on Thomas Wayne, he may as well kill his son.
And there was an awful lot of panels about buttons in that issue.
I liked what they did with the whole from the time Barry says I'll be there in a minute.
You knew he was going to be late.
Yeah, of course, because he's Barry. But I liked that they had the countdown on every panel.
Me too.
What I didn't like,
it was annoying the shit. I mean, like, come on, just get to one. Batman's going to get his ass kicked some more.
What I didn't like was that it was almost just basically 20 pages of Batman getting his shit kicked in. And
he took it like a champ.
This is a major storyline here. I kind of wanted, with only 4 issues, get moving.
So now is Batman like out of the commission for the Flash book? Because I won't buy the Flash book if Batman's not in it.
What scares me is that they might do they might have the Flash issue just be, oh, what happened during that 1 minute for the Flash?
It seemed like one giant cock tease.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what's going on? Does Batman find anything out about the button? Instead, the button just goes on the floor. And Batman sees a ghost.
That's what Batman figured out.
A ghost.
Yeah.
The same thing that he already knew.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, okay?
Did you read Trinity?
I did read Trinity.
Trinity was also very confusing.
Superman is having nightmares.
And Batman was an asshole.
Yeah, he was kind of a dick in that.
He had the best line in that, though. What are you, some kind of machine? When I have to be. I mean, he was just like, no, don't tell anybody, and if you do, you're in trouble.
I had forgotten that, why is his name escaping me? Manapool. That Manapool wasn't writing it anymore. So I was kind of surprised when I saw Cullen Bunn's name in there.
He did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
that book was more interesting than the Batman book.
Yeah. It was also more interesting than the Superman book because I actually remembered what happened. And I hate to say that because I love Tomasi.
The Superman book, they could have just not had that issue, and I wouldn't have cared. They could have just taken everything that was in that issue, put it on one page in the following book, and it would have been fine.
I think the only point of that of Superman was the reveal.
Are they ever going to tell us what that guy's name is? I mean, I've just been calling him Farmer Bob because I don't know what his name is.
I don't know.
He's got some kind of weird cow that has a black thing that comes out of its anus. It looks like.
I am trying to remember if he's. I think he is just a brand new character.
Either that or he's a rip on Farmer Brown from the animated series that you don't know who he is, though.
Like you said, nobody remembers that episode.
Just like the Calendar Girl episode that followed that episode. Mean Seasons.
Yeah, you've lost me on that one too.
Yep, there's 2 episodes in a row that was the only 2 episodes that weren't good, and then Etrigan was after that.
Okay. Yeah, that one I remember.
I watched Etrigan the other night. That's one of the best renditions of Etrigan.
You seen Justice League Dark?
Yes.
How is it?
Good.
I've seen clips on YouTube and it looks like it's pretty.
Don't watch it when you're sleepy though, because there's a lot of like quiet parts in the movie, and you just drift right off to sleep.
Okay. And
then you wake up when Constantine casts a spell or Zatanna because they're screaming.
I still haven't even seen Judas Contract.
I watched that too. Judas Contract was good. I don't have an emotional attachment to it like you do, so for me it was just a nice.
What do you mean?
Because you and your brother love Titans, so.
I like Titans, yeah, but
you guys don't like Old Man Deathstroke.
I never read the Judas Contract.
No, and they also combined it with the modern Mike McCone story with Brother Blood as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was like 2 Titan stories at once.
Because I was looking for. Lost my train of thought there for a second.
You do that a lot.
I do. I remember when they first announced the Judas Contract movie.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And then they said it wasn't going to happen. And it sounded completely different when they first announced it than what it looks like it is now.
For me, it was good. It should have been about young Dick Grayson Robin instead of Damian.
Oh, so it is about Damian again?
Yeah, everything's about Damian.
Why?
Well, he's not in it much, so you don't have to worry about that. And they have my least favorite Titan in it, and people are going to get really mad. Terra. I hate her.
Okay, fine.
I hate her.
The only way I know Terra is from the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Me too.
Other than that, I know almost nothing about Terra.
And Starfire and Nightwing have a lot of sexual innuendos that a lot of people are upset about.
Why?
I don't know, because people are prude now. They gotta get. I don't know how they have time to watch this stuff riding around on those high horses.
They were together in the books.
They get together in the movie.
Didn't they almost get married?
Mm-hmm. She tells him that he learns to last longer, and Terra laughs at him.
Oh boy.
But anyway, back to Batman. So apparently, we could just forget everything that we read for the last 7 years. And just pick up right from Flashpoint.
I don't know how they're doing this. I really don't.
It should be a lot longer, I think, than
4 issues.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like this is a major thing. It should have been like a rebirth type story.
Unless it's something that they're going to be dragging out.
Well, obviously.
Like they're going to be doing this.
So they're making all new villains and heroes, right? With that new Batman event, Dark Knights. Like Jim Lee, Capullo, and all them. They're actually making new villains and characters that are going to be more diverse. To me, it sounds. Remember Milestone? Are you old enough to remember Milestone?
I know what Milestone was.
That's what it reminds me of. So I'm all for it because instead of turning Batman into like a Hawaiian, gay lady, they made a new character that could be something that people could actually like instead of taking.
I always wondered what happened to the Milestone characters.
It just didn't. It didn't. I worked in a comic shop and it exploded the first like 3 issues, and then people were like, "Why am I buying these?"
Well, they pop up every now and then still.
That's because Dwayne McDuffie, the guy that wrote the Justice League stuff, and he was one of the big factors in that. Yeah. So when he died, everybody.
I had heard that there were some legal issues.
And Static Shock came from that.
Yeah, of course. And Static Shock as a book, I'd figure would have sold well.
It was a terrible book,
but it didn't.
I never liked Static Shock's comic look. If they made him look like the cartoon, I probably would have been more into it. I'm more visual, like your brother said with the Star Wars comics. Yeah. If it doesn't look good to me, I won't read it.
Well, that's what always kind of confused me is like when you bring in a character that people know mainly from a television show, why do you make them look different?
I don't know. I work in licensing, and we're always constantly told we can't make anything look like the cartoon.
I don't know why.
We live in a scary world.
It's kind of like when Supergirl first started on CBS.
There's a lot of people that hate that show. I don't get that.
I don't hate it, but I don't like it.
I mean, I put on my panties and I listen to it, and it's just it had a lot of feminine, but they got rid of a lot. Now it's just a relationship show, which is totally turning me off.
That's the CW.
I kind of want Mon-El to get his brains blown out.
I'm getting turned off with The Flash, which I never thought I'd say. That first season was great.
Didn't they just change his costume again for like the umpteenth time, or that hasn't happened yet?
I don't think they've changed his costume at all.
Because he's changing it.
Is he?
Yeah, he's getting a whole new costume.
Yeah, well, it happens in comics and comic book related things.
Yeah, I don't like that guy that plays Flash.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the guy playing him in the movie either.
I like both of them.
What I've seen.
I like the both of them. I'm just not sure how I feel about Ezra Miller. Yeah. Is what I think his name is.
Every time I hear the word Ezra, I just think of Rebels. Did you see the rumor that Will Smith's going to play the genie in Aladdin? I'll put asses in the seat, because I know I won't be going.
I was about to say, I hope that was sarcasm, because I certainly won't be seeing it.
I like Will Smith, but not as the genie from Aladdin.
I like Homer Simpson. I don't like him as the genie from Aladdin.
He was okay, but because I knew what Homer Simpson sounded like, it didn't work for me. That and George Costanza was the main villain of the whole TV series.
When you're trying to follow Robin Williams. Good luck.
But he did the voices in Kingdom Hearts, and you didn't even notice.
Didn't you?
I didn't.
Didn't you?
Nope.
Okay.
Come on, you can't tell me Abismal isn't the best Aladdin villain you've ever seen. It was they fought George Costanza for 3 seasons. He even did the voice.
Did the George Costanza voice?
Yes. Just like Duckman. Remember Duckman?
Don't remember Duckman.
You need to watch Duckman. Duckman was a better Howard the Duck. He was an asshole. He cursed. He drank. He had hookers. And he had a pig that was his sidekick and a detective. And George Costanza,
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking of something else.
And George Costanza did the voice.
Okay.
He had a song that was, I thrust your pelvis. Huh! You point you down.
I have no idea what any of that means.
Somewhere out there, people are laughing who know who Duckman is.
I'm sure there are people out there. I don't.
But yeah, I got a lot
Must be an age thing.
I got a lot of comics this week, but I didn't read a lot of them because I've just been too busy.
I was kind of the same way. Yeah, but honestly, looking at you're trying to remember the comics that I got, I only remember the 3 we talked about beforehand.
I read Harley Quinn, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I have no idea what's going on in the Paul Dini stories, and so far I'm bored.
Really?
Yeah. The Joker bought Harley. Well, he didn't buy. He stole Harley Quinn a fur coat. That's the whole story. And she leaves her coat in the store, and Batman finds it and finds them.
It's all Harley's fault yet again.
I think that's what they're going for, but I don't know. It's just not what I was looking for. I was looking more for like them wreaking terror on Batman and Robin. And
speaking of Paul Dini, have you read Darkest Night?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of it?
Excellent.
It was, wasn't it?
Yep.
I still can't get my brother to read it.
You know what's funny about that? He uses the Joker as his evil voice in his head. That's mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see that episode that he was writing.
Yeah.
With the Sandman characters. That would be awesome.
I want to see the final episode where Batman locks the Joker in a cell with no door in the Batcave and leaves him there to die. That was brutal. That would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have been the best ending to Endgame.
That was a really and it's because I was waiting. I've been waiting for that book too because I first heard about that when Kevin Smith was interviewing him for his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how he was turning that experience
into a book. You didn't get
book.
one when it came out.
No, I didn't.
I wonder who was at fault for that.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's not. Maybe one day, but not this week.
Maybe one day. Definitely not this week.
But yeah, I made sure I got mine because I ordered that. And I made sure, because I knew, everybody thought it was going to be a Batman book, but I knew it wasn't.
I knew it wasn't either.
But it was excellent.
It was so good.
I never thought reading a book about real life would be good, because I'm usually turned off completely. Did you see the announcement that Captain America is always going to be evil now?
Really?
Yep. They said he was evil all along. I don't mind.
I don't know if the mic is picking that up.
Here's my thing. I love the Steve Rogers books. I stopped buying them because they started tying into Civil War, and if I didn't buy Civil War, I didn't know what was going on in them.
Apparently, if you didn't buy Captain America, you didn't really know what was going on in Civil War.
So I stopped at issue 12. But what I read before that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to keep making a big deal about it. It's kind of like cutting someone with a scissor, and then every time they get the bleeding to stop, you pour some salt on their arm.
Well, the next event is going to be all about...
It's their last event for 2 years. They guarantee it.
I don't believe that.
I think they're going to have to because they've lost too many readers.
Well, it's been... Well, hey, this event ended. Let's start another one right away. For how many years now?
I'm not even thrilled about the new DC event with Metal, whatever the hell it is, or Darkest Nights.
Yeah.
Where it looks like Batman's in a post-apocalyptic world where he's in charge. I was excited to hear Capullo, Snyder. They work well together, and then I found out that Batman's in, like, very little of it, it looks like.
I'm sorry, but I have to... I don't like... Never wanted to say something like this on the show. Stop letting Snyder write Batman.
You sound like my friend Dave. Right now he's sitting at home going, woo! He hates him.
Snyder started off really good.
And what was with DC's books coming out of order?
Did they?
Yeah, Detective ruined All-Star Batman. I didn't have to read All-Star Batman 19. It told me that Ra's al Ghul was the bad guy, so I just opened it and closed it.
See, I don't get All-Star Batman, so I didn't know that.
Well, All-Star Batman wasn't supposed to be a book that was in continuity. All of a sudden, now it is.
Yeah. I knew that just from reading Detective, and I'm like, wait a minute, why do I have to read a book that's not in continuity to understand what's going on?
I don't know.
But they decided, hey,
I like All-Star Batman.
Now it's in continuity.
But they put every artist that I absolutely don't like the artwork for in that book. We went from Ramita Jr. to Jock, and now we have...
Jock was... I enjoyed his art in the Black Mirror. Well, I don't want to say I enjoyed his art, but it was...
It's not horrible. I just don't like it.
It was to the point where I didn't even really notice it as I was reading through the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I can live with that.
I just don't... His artwork doesn't appeal to me.
It's a strange style.
Yeah.
It's not...
Same thing with Ramita Jr. He's a nice guy and everything, but his art is just not for me.
It seems to me like when you can see that he's taken his time with something, he tends to do a really good job.
So Thor in 1996?
But when he's, like, if he's doing a monthly or a bi-weekly...
He's doing one of the new Darkest Night books.
Then it... But I think that happens to a lot of artists is when they're trying to do things quickly.
Well, we have
a lot of stuff quickly at the same time. You know,
that's how we live.
Quality suffers because of that.
That's how we live. Otherwise, you don't make any money.
Yeah. Hey.
Everybody says, "Oh, you got to learn to say no." They only want you to say no so that they can take the job out from under you.
Yeah. You got to learn to not
dropping some knowledge on you.
You got to learn to not take that money.
Dropping some knowledge on you. Oh, sorry, folks. I'm cleaning my glasses.
I probably should give my glasses a good cleaning at some point. I just tend to use my shirt.
Did you sit on those before you put them on your face?
Yeah.
It looked like there was a butt cheek mark on them.
There was a butt cheek mark on there.
Would you just throw them on the floor and pick them up?
Yep. That's just toss them all over the room.
Dog just licks it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. My dog does lick my glasses.
Shay doesn't like
she
glasses.
loves doing that.
Yeah, Shay doesn't like glasses at all. Or hats. I'm the only one that's allowed to wear glasses and hats. She does like you, though, now, so.
I was going to say, I'm sitting over here.
Sleeping, so.
I'm sitting over here wearing glasses and a hat.
This is the first show we recorded. She's not crying at us in the background.
Yeah. Apparently she's just used to it by now.
She's content with you.
Good.
What else you want to talk about? We're supposed to have a format, so here's the format.
There's our opening theme song.
Crackling paper.
Yeah. You opening a comic book for 20 seconds.
What's wrong with opening a comic book for 20 seconds?
Well, you should probably be a bit quicker about it than that.
Yeah, but it's dramatic pause.
Is that how we cover up our pauses now?
No, it's just everything with me is dramatic. Everything I do is awesome.
Everything you do is awesome.
When I get up in the morning and I open my front door, they play that Lego song. Everything is awesome, and everybody goes outside and dances. Just in my mind.
Yeah, that's only in your mind.
My mind's like, going a mile a minute like Homer Simpson.
Meanwhile, across the street, they're going, "Put your pants on!
Button your fly!" I don't usually walk around without pants outside.
No, you just open your door without them.
Yeah, it's my door. As long as I'm inside it, I'm inside the house. Shouldn't be looking.
Still on full display to the public there, buddy.
Don't be looking at my windows and my doors. You don't want to see what's going on in here. You don't know, I might have like weirdo lighting and thick carpets and
there's probably a room in this house I haven't seen where you have all those things.
That's where I keep all my Harley Quinns.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. There's been about 50 of them.
Oh boy. Slow down a bit.
They break very easily.
I'm sure they do.
We're talking about toys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I agree
of
with
course.
You don't watch Darkwing Ducks. You don't know who Quacker Jack is, right?
Nope. I have no idea.
Quacker Jack said, "There's nothing better in the world than toys, including women." What were we talking about before that we were recording and now I forgot?
I have no idea.
Oh, damn.
Oh, we were talking about a format. Like, what's next on our non-existent format here?
I don't know. So we'll just wrap it up. I don't know. The comics were not as free flowing as I
wanted more to talk about with Batman.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be something we could actually talk about.
I felt bad for Bach.
I've seen videos of people theorizing. I'm like, how do you theorize based off of what was there?
I mean, every one of those pages had like 18 panels on it. It must have taken him years to draw that.
Yeah.
That dude didn't sleep for a month.
18 panels, 20 pages. What's that? That's 360 panels.
And all of them were Batman getting punched in the face to the left and right.
Yeah, exactly. Did he cut some corners by copy pasting? Maybe.
This week we got what conventions this week? C2E2. It's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. Actually, in about 20 minutes, they're gonna have the DC panel.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They're gonna reveal what exactly is gonna go on in Darkest Night.
You're dating our podcast.
Why?
You're letting them know pretty much when we're recording.
We're recording right now.
Of course we're recording right now. It's not live though, Rich.
What are you talking about?
Maybe we're recording in the morning, but apparently not since the panel's about to start.
They don't know that. Maybe the panel was in the morning. Maybe I'm just lying. You don't know this.
You could be lying.
I tell you a lot of things, and sometimes some of them are true and some of them are not.
That doesn't surprise me.
I like to see if you're paying attention.
Why?
Because not everybody pays attention to me. And like Jack Sparrow, I'm right a lot of the time.
You haven't learned by now that I don't pay...
You don't pad? You shouldn't.
You're a man. You haven't learned by now that I do pay attention to you?
Yeah, you do.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people I know. I don't pay attention to them.
You sent me a picture of a Hula Hula Harley. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before.
Neither had I.
You couldn't touch it because it was in a glass case for some reason. Was that in case Superman came in and he wanted to touch it? That's how I knew you were at GameStop.
No, that's where, for some reason, they keep some of their figures behind glass.
It's always the cheap things.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Here's a $300 lightsaber out on the floor.
They had a lot more expensive Star Wars things on their shelves over there, but that $25 Harley was behind glass.
We need a think geek around here. You and I they sell Futurama blasters in that store. Everybody loves Futurama.
I love episodes of Futurama.
My friends call me Bender.
I thought your friends called you Newman.
No. My real friends call me Bender.
Oh, okay. Favorite Bender quote is, kiss my red hot flaming ass.
Nope. My favorite Bender quote is, just remember, Bender, the meaning to life is if you've done things right, you haven't done anything at all.
Bender said that?
Yep.
Bender was speaking in the third person?
The God was speaking through him.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 0101101001 binary.
Yeah.
Someone out there's going, oh, we forgot a 1!
I can't,
I'm still mad that I messed up my joke in the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah. You're going to keep bringing that up, huh?
It's going to eat at me until next week.
Apparently it will. Seymour. I can't watch that episode.
Seymour! Like from the Seymour Skinner?
No. That was the name of the dog. Yeah.
That's the only cartoon episode that made me cry.
I both hate and love that episode.
Because I would see Shay would do that if I was working at a pizzeria and I just vanished into the future.
Yeah.
She'd wait for me.
Yeah, my dog wouldn't.
She'd come to me.
My
or
dog,
go to Rob.
My dog has 3 other people that she loves more.
So I was talking to somebody and they said, you can't talk loud because you're a fake New Yorker.
What the hell does that even mean?
Well, if you're from the island and New York, you're naturally loud. Your voice is loud because if you don't talk loud, no one will hear you.
I'm not from the island.
I know.
Or New
you're
York.
from Buffalo.
I'm from Buffalo.
So you can't be loud because there's a lot of trees and quiet around you.
In the suburbs of Buffalo, yes.
Yeah, that's where you're from, right?
Yeah.
You're not from like the ghetto of
No.
Buffalo.
No.
Like, you're not the Fresh Prince of Buffalo.
No, I'm not.
Is that how you wound up down here? They played a catchy song and
Yeah, that was actually
we go
exactly
home
how they
to
did it.
wherever we live.
I spent 14 hours in a cab.
And said, smell you later when you got there
Yeah.
because you guys really did smell ripe.
Yeah, after 14 hours, we really did smell ripe.
I wonder how many people are listening to this going, what the fuck are they talking about? I know I have a lot of enemies that listen to this.
Do you?
Yeah.
Then you need some more enemies to listen to this.
Yeah, well, we have 2 last week because it was Easter.
2 on Buzzsprout.
We had 2 today because I know 2 people listened to it today.
That's buzzsprout.com/92232. If I remember correctly off the top of my head.
How did you remember that? I have to actually go into my phone and go, wait a second, let me find Matt's text message.
It's pretty simple.
I'm good with faces, not names and numbers.
Hey, as long as I'm doing that, I won't give the Podomatic link because we're not going to be uploading there this week.
Why not?
Apparently we're at storage capacity on Podomatic.
Fuck them. They're lost.
We can also be found on YouTube.
All 10 of you that are listening, could you find 1,000 of your friends and have them watch the YouTube channel? That'd be great.
How about 10,000? 10,000 would be great.
Totally messed Matt up there.
Yeah, I can't rattle off the YouTube link. That's way too long, and we don't have enough subscribers to get our own youtube.com/sortaprofessional. So just go to youtube.com, search for Sorta Professional, and we'll pop up.
Will we?
Yeah, I've tested.
What if they spell it wrong? Like, what if they put in sorted professional?
Well, then they're not going to get us.
They're going to get people like sorting nuts and bolts.
They might be, yeah. I haven't tested that.
Well, sort of profesh with an SH. And all. Wow, stunned them there.
Sorta professional. I can't say
professional.
I can't say professional. That sounds stupid.
Professional.
That's what I said.
But instead of SS, SH. Like the professional.
Well, then I'm sorry, but they need to learn how to spell.
Some people aren't good at spelling.
Some people need to figure out.
I'm sorry that he's insulting you. You guys all.
I'm not sorry.
You guys all get a tissue, wipe your eyes.
I can guarantee you most of the people listening spent at least 4 years in an English class.
Doesn't mean you know how to spell.
They should have learned how to by then.
Not everybody's good at spelling. We should have a spelling bee. One of us.
You want to have a spelling bee?
Yeah, we'll just pick some random people. Like, hey, you want to be on a spelling bee?
Look at my brother in here. Ask him how to spell grapefruit. He's listening right now, going "fuck you."
He doesn't know how to spell grapefruit.
He failed he was in a spelling bee when we were in school, and the nerves got to him when they gave him grapefruit.
Like what happened to me at the beginning of the show. I feel your pain, Rob. The nerves got to me. I'm not usually nervous, but it got to me. I actually forgot what I was going to say.
But there is one more very important link to give.
What's that?
That would be patreon.com/sortaprofessional.
What are we giving them for for giving us money?
Listen, I've thought about it. I have.
I'm not doing lap dances for everybody.
It's $1. It's $1, and if they're a Patreon, that's the most they can give right now. And if they become a Patreon supporter, they get a shout out on the show. That's the best I can give.
That's actually pretty good.
And
and maybe, just maybe, if we get enough, I'll let you upload my outtakes for the Patreon people, because they're gold.
Yeah, there's some good ones that I sometimes I'm too slow on the record button to capture though.
Oh, I can always repeat it.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Yeah, you're very big on making everything.
Then it's forced, and
that's what happened with my joke. I tried it too much on myself and made myself laugh like Mr. Burns.
Were you in front of the mirror?
Yep. Most of my big good ideas, I'm on the toilet.
You do get a lot of good ideas on the toilet, don't you?
Yeah. And then by the time you can write them down, you forget what you're talking about.
Yeah,
so I usually text them to myself in an email.
The idea for this came on the toilet. I could say that easily enough.
We've officially hit rock bottom. We're talking about toilets.
How's that rock bottom?
I just feel like it's rock bottom. Potty humor.
No, rock bottom's after we flush. That's rock bottom.
See, that's where we need the sound effects. We can go whoosh.
I told you, I might have even said this in the first podcast. I want a soundboard at one point just so I can be like morning disc jockey on the radio.
You'd be like the Family Guy, because I know it drives you nuts when I say that. It does.
It really does.
Why?
Because that's not the name of the show.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. When they sing the song, what do they say? Of course he is the Family Guy.
I'm pretty sure it's a Family Guy.
Still another pronoun? Did I get that right?
Yeah, that doesn't matter because it's not the name of the show. No. Look at anything.
When they say tonight on The Family Guy,
they don't say tonight on The Family Guy.
They do during The Simpsons.
This is Simpsons, and they haven't been good for anything in the last 10 years.
I will not have you talking bad about The Simpsons in front of me.
I'll talk bad about current Simpsons all I want.
Look at, again with your damn phone during the podcast. If it's not a poop in the pool, I'm going to be upset.
There's poop in Chad's pool. What did you do?
Is that what it is?
I don't know that I should have said that. No, that's not what it is.
I was kind of hoping you got a poop in the pool. We could take the podcast on the road.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll report to them what you're doing. We'll measure it, see how round it is.
Do you want me to talk about AFRs very quickly?
Now you have to because they don't know what an AFR is.
An AFR is an accidental fecal release.
If nothing is accidental if it's in the pool.
That's kind of my idea too, but that's what they call it.
I lived in an apartment complex, and I saw people poop in the pool.
There's 2 different ways to handle it.
A net or
Maybe.
a baggie?
It's either a net or you have to vacuum it through the system. Because it depends. Is it like diarrhea type poop?
Ew.
Or is it solid?
Ew.
You're not hungry
anymore. Is it blue
anymore,
when you get it? I wasn't hungry to begin with.
No, it's not blue.
Why not? When you pee, it turns blue.
No, it doesn't.
It did in that Grown Ups movie with Kevin James.
That's not true. That's not real.
Is it? I thought that was real.
No, if you pee in a pool, nothing happens.
That's why I don't go in public pools or the ocean.
Anyway, when we
now my phone went off.
When we then remove the poop, we have to jack up the chlorine and shut the pool down.
You're supposed to empty all the water.
Nope.
I hope that's what you do.
That's not true.
Well, at my apartment complex, they were made to.
They might have their own.
I don't think I'd want
to
go into pool water that had a poop in. I don't. You couldn't put enough chlorine in that pool to get me to go back in there.
Listen, we put enough chlorine in that pool to kill you.
I don't care. It's still not enough. You would have to nuke that water.
All I know is that according to regulation, we don't have to do it.
I thought you were going to tell me you had to boil it.
No.
What the hell's messaging me? Oh.
I would say, I think for liquid fecal matter.
We got a message from Bob McKnight. And he sent me a theme song for us. Should we play it right on the podcast?
That was quick.
And see if we like it? And see if he actually listens? I'm doing it.
I don't know how well it'll pick up. You're not actually playing it.
I gotta press. Sounds like what's happening.
How long is that?
That was it.
All right, you got my email address? Send that to my email address.
Okay. You gotta talk because I'm sending a message now, so I can't do two things at once.
Yes, you can.
That was gonna be really big.
Learn how to
pause.
multitask. Oh, boy.
I'm telling him right now. Haha! I just played it on the podcast. So you can't just sit there.
Good old Bob. He's the one that created our art that we use for our podcast.
Because I couldn't do it because I was swamped.
Yeah.
But he actually, it was weird. I didn't tell him anything, but that was exactly the idea that I wanted to create. So I was like,
oh, yeah?
I don't have to do it now.
Okay. Speaking of art you're creating.
Yes?
I swear I'm not going to bug you about this too much.
Oh, your covers?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as you know, I had to take on a lot of work to make do. But I do have some free time coming up. And yours is sketched. What's that?
Email.
But yours is sketched.
Okay, good.
At least you'll actually pay me. There's a few people that just have me draw stuff and then they vanish.
And then I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it on the video for YouTube while we're talking about it. And I'll tell everybody, hey, this is good. And that'll be the exact inflection I use. This is
Bob,
good.
I know you're listening to this. You think you're going to get any money out of me? First we have to make some money, so... Dear Bob, I left you a special message on the podcast now. You're lucky I didn't curse.
Tell him it's at about 41 minutes in.
I should tell him he knows what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Some money now.
He's
old enough to know.
There,
I'm surprised you know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Was Rerun?
Yep.
Who didn't fucking love Rerun? Hey! Who didn't walk around school doing that?
I didn't.
I had a beret when I was in school, but it wasn't red. It was black. And people used to call me the white Rerun.
I had a beret, too. It was a raspberry beret.
Raspberry
The kind you'd find in a
beret.
secondhand store.
I hated that song.
I love that song.
What is to like about that? First of all, you're a dude.
First of all, it's Prince.
Not everything. He did write a really awful Joker song for Batman the movie.
Okay, sure.
Party man.
But that was after his good stuff.
Bob, stop answering me.
He's worried now.
I can't pay you without money.
So support us on Patreon.
So send us money on Patreon.
I looked to see if he had a Patreon account. He doesn't. He does. Does he?
It's the Bob and Katie Show. Now I gave him free advertising.
Why did I not find that?
So Bob, there's your money for your What's Happening theme song. Bob and Katie Show, one of the greatest podcasts of all time. I love those guys. He says he accepts sex favors. I'll tell him you'll provide those.
Let's not.
Matt provides that.
Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. Of course. My computer is not connected to the internet. My phone is.
But yeah, the Bob and Katie Show. The first podcast I was ever on. It got me to actually know what the hell a podcast was.
Really?
Yep. I used to see all these wrestlers that be like, oh, I got my own podcast now. The Roddy Piper had one, and Ric Flair.
I listened to an episode of Chris Jericho's podcast. It was about 20 minutes of talk and an hour of advertisements.
But we're the boring ones.
Yeah.
We're only boring because we're not talking about things like Paris or news and stuff like that, or making fun of Donald Trump going huge.
I could talk about Donald Trump, but not on this podcast.
Yeah, we'll say that for the outtakes of the Patreon supporters.
Yeah. There you go.
You want to hear Matt's political rants? Donate $100 now to Patreon.
For some reason, I put a period at the end of the search. I don't know why.
You're having your period?
Oh, there it is, right there. The Bob and Katie Show.
You're having your period.
Okay.
You know what I call the periods when you get them at the end of those sentences? That's what you have when your finger is just too fat for the phone. And you don't have fat fingers.
No, I don't.
You have like Jack Skellington hands. Matt is now reading his phone.
You know what? People want to hear Rob more. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that'll be a Patreon reward. We'll do a Patreon-only podcast. Rob and I.
I'm not allowed to be on it.
You're allowed to be on it, but I figure you're kind of busy.
The fuck are you talking about? You're in my house right now recording a podcast.
You want to do more than one podcast a week?
I love letting people hear what I have to say, so...
Well,
not every week, but I would do it.
I think that sometimes we have a bit of a problem filling one episode.
No, we don't.
Worth of
it's
content.
just because you try to keep it us talking about comics. But if we opened it up like when we turned the microphone off, this show would be like 5 hours long.
I try to keep it about, so we're not jumping all over the place.
Yeah, but you try to keep it more nerd-like. Like I said, if we had this on when we were just sitting here bullshitting, 5 hours worth of material, guaranteed.
Well, here's the big issue: is that you start talking about it right when I walk in the door.
Exactly. You don't even get in the house sometimes.
Let's save it for the podcast sometimes, there,
but
buddy.
Then I forget what I wanted to say, and I don't want to write it down because I'm like, I'm not going to talk about this now.
I still haven't read X-Men Gold. I got 2 copies of it. Have not read it.
Why'd you get 2?
Because it was $20. I figured, why the hell not?
Who the fuck charged you $20 for that?
The internet has it a bit more expensive than that for one right now. So.
You don't even want to tell me who charged you $20.
Do not.
All right, fine. I'll get it out of you when the microphone's off.
Yes, you will.
Believe it or not, I subscribed to X-Men Gold, but I bought X-Men Blue, and I liked Blue better.
Yeah.
Go figure. I think the use of Magneto and Juggernaut.
I can't get into Juggernaut. I can't get into X-Men books.
Why?
I just can't.
They're like detectives
because
with mutants.
I feel like there's so much backstory that I'm never ever going to catch up.
There we go. I hate these people who can't buy books because they don't know what happened in the beginning. This is the first issue.
So what?
It's a jumping on point.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's like
Kitty's in charge of the team. That's all you need to know.
That's like saying that after a Secret War, that was a jumping on point.
No, that wasn't. This is all these new books they're starting.
Those are all
jumping
number
on point. That's just Marvel renumbering it so that they can make 55 covers. And everyone's like, oh my god, I gotta get this put in a slab of carbonite for the rest of my life. That fucking annoys the crap out of me.
Can we do that?
Graded
Put our books in carbonite?
Graded. Why would you want a book that's in plastic?
That you can never open again. Yeah.
And you can hit a robber with.
That would be one useful purpose for them.
I mean, when we all die from the Russian and North Korean missiles that'll be on their way here eventually, those books will survive. And all of those people will have the money from them. I could just see all these comic book guys. Wait, I gotta get my X-Men #1 and Spider-Man #1. It weighs like 100 pounds, my book bag.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd ever be able to get a book graded and sealed like that.
I just want to take a pickaxe and knock that shit open and be like, read this fucking thing.
I'm okay.
Wow, you were a loud drinker.
Too bad. I have no problem putting a book in a bag and board.
Comics were much more enjoyable when they were disposable. When people rolled them up and put them in their pocket and called Spanky over.
I don't dispose of things.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm a collector. I used to have a box full of highlights magazines from the time I was like 5 to the time I was 11.
Who saves highlights magazines and isn't a dentist?
5 to 11.
Who saves highlights magazines and isn't a dentist?
Me.
For what reason? You did all the maps in it already.
No, I didn't do shit.
It's like those people who buy the Where's Waldo book.
I read them once. I put them in the box.
You go to the store, you find Waldo on all the pages, and you put it back on the shelf. Because he doesn't move.
You find Waldo, you circle him.
He doesn't move.
An arrow, here's Waldo.
So unless you have a stroke, you're not going to lose him. Then the book becomes theirs, Waldo. And everyone's all these people, I got to look at these 5 Waldo books.
That's why I don't order magazines. I ordered Shonen Jump. I had 3 boxes of that. I ordered Wizard Magazine. I had 5 boxes of that.
Those are worth a lot of money now.
I don't have them anymore, unfortunately.
What happened to them?
No idea.
Kind of like my Batman and Spider-Man books that are missing, air quotes.
I know I didn't do anything with them. They probably got thrown out by somebody.
I think mine were taken. I'm gonna send Liam Neeson after them.
That's like all my Animorphs books. I have no idea what happened to those.
We need Liam Neeson.
We need Liam Neeson?
Yeah. I know you took his books. Telling you. He doubles as a badass special agent and a badass Jedi.
That's why I don't like ordering magazines anymore, though, is because I just keep them.
I'm not one for unless it's like, even Playboy sucks now because they have clothes on. But old Playboys, you keep, certain ones. But I threw them away.
Okay, good. We are still recording.
If you weren't recording, there was no way I could reenact that passionate speech that I just gave.
I'm sorry, I just had Chrome pulled up instead of Audacity. I just realized, I'm like, does it still record when it's not?
I don't think I could reenact that. Where's Waldo? That was passion right there.
That was definitely passion.
It's true though. Why would you buy a Where's Waldo book?
I never bought a Where's Waldo book.
I know friends, they have all of them.
Why?
Fuck do I know? I wouldn't even buy a book that was called Where's Batman?
Although, truth be told, I think a lot of people kind of feel that way about what we buy too. It's like, okay, you read it, why do you still have it? I knew a kid that would buy.
That's a good point.
He would buy a video game.
You fucking ruined the whole joke. This is why nobody likes you, and they want Rob on the show.
Fine then, I'll leave.
Wait, if you leave though, I gotta keep the microphone hooking up to my computer.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is all my equipment.
You have my microphone. You didn't return it. You were fixing it.
There was nothing wrong with the microphone.
So when you bringing it back?
It's in my bag right now.
Because I'm gonna start doing my own raving rich, and you're gonna add it into the Patreon account.
If that's what you want,
we should do that.
Yeah, you'll have to send me the file.
Yeah.
So I can actually upload it to the account. But yeah, why not?
That's cool. We should do toy reviews too eventually.
Yeah, sure. I have no problem with that.
We need to get I could buy a little camera. They have little minion ones.
I'd like a good camera.
Why is everything when you gotta be the best?
It doesn't have to be the best. It has to be decent.
We're not rich men.
No, we're not. That's why we have a Patreon account now.
If we were in Game of Thrones, we'd be the guys that they would throw the shit on. We wouldn't even be the guys shoveling the shit.
I don't know that I deserve shit thrown
Nobody
at me.
in Game of Thrones deserves what's going on except for the Lannisters and the
I was going to say, doesn't what's her name, Cersei?
By what's going on right now, you feel bad for Cersei.
Do you?
I do.
Because I read what happened to her at the end of Dance of Dragons, and I don't even know what season that would be considered.
The one that just ended, I think.
Where she was flogged naked throughout the street or whatever it was.
Season 5.
I didn't feel a bit sorry for her.
Oh, I didn't either. But this season, she got...
In fact, I was angry because they didn't end that with her getting her head chopped off.
I mean, besides that she sleeps with her brother, she's the kind of mother everybody should have. She protects her kids.
Does she?
Yeah.
Because apparently one of them jumps out a fucking window.
Well, that's because she blew up his wife, all the in-laws,
yeah,
the high priest,
yeah,
half the town,
yeah,
and the church,
yeah,
and all the bodies of the people that were in the family.
And he said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Yeah, he was like Mr. Bean. He just jumped up and whoop, right out the window.
Yeah, actually, seeing that clip, he didn't so much jump as just kind of walk out and go, "Hey."
Yeah, he was like Mr. Bean. He Mr. Beaned himself.
It was almost like a pratfall out the window.
That was such a power. I don't know if you watched it. That was such a powerful episode. And then when he did that, I laughed for like 20 minutes, and I missed everything that happened after that because I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like,
I don't actually watch the series, so no, I didn't see that episode.
You still haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
I still have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, you're going to be going to see the second one.
It was on
seeing it.
It's funny because Guardians of the Galaxy was on FX.
Yeah.
The other day, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just sit here and watch that. I'm like, and then I just completely forgot it was going to be on. I got up and did something else.
You'll be going to see number 2, so.
Why?
Because you're going with me.
Why?
Because I want someone to go with me. And
why?
I picked you. I choose you, Pikachu.
Why?
What are you, 5 years old?
No.
Because it's a superhero movie. And
Animaniacs?
Yeah, I know. I was more of a Pinky and the Brain guy, even though I did like Animaniacs.
Animaniacs is awesome. Wheel of Morality, turn. Tell us a lesson.
The Wheel of Morality answers all of life's questions.
Yes, it does.
No matter what the answer is, it still answers your question.
Such a good show. I missed that show.
I once took an animation class with the guy that animated that show.
Oh, yeah?
He wasn't a nice guy.
No?
He didn't like me very much because I had a job and I couldn't. He delayed the class and I wasn't happy, and it didn't end well. I didn't even get to finish my cartoon that I was making.
Oh boy! That's too bad.
I doubt he's listening.
Nah, probably not.
I don't really fucking care if he was.
He sees your name and I goes, fuck that guy.
A lot of people do that. That's okay, though.
Yeah. Is it?
Yep. I always get my revenge.
I don't know. How many people do you think are hate listening right now?
Well, I could probably guess of a few and from, like, personal life, but I'd say at least 10.
I can guarantee that right now no one is hate listening because of me.
Well,
that will change. That will change.
You're a mousy little man.
Mm.
You're not really, but that's how you come off.
Yeah.
We need to get.
That's how I trick people.
I need to like crack you like a hard-boiled egg and peel that shell off.
Good luck finding a way to do that.
Well, I could drop you off the roof.
You could. That would definitely.
But that would crack something else.
I was gonna say there would definitely be a crack there.
That would crack something else. So, and you're good at recording, so I can't break your legs and arms. Well, your legs maybe.
I don't know about good.
You just press record.
Yeah, and then it sounds like this.
Eventually, you're gonna do other stuff.
Eventually, I'll figure it out, but that'll take a while because I'm slow.
We have 12 people that are listening. They like the quality of the show, except that they can't hear you. I can't tell you how many messages I get. We hear you just fine.
I actually had a message the other day from somebody that said they couldn't hear you well.
Me?
Yeah.
They
could hear me
lie.
fine.
That's a fucking
They couldn't
lie.
hear you.
You're lying right through your teeth.
I'm not.
Your hair is going to turn
not
gray,
lying.
and your teeth are going to fall out, and you're going to have wooden teeth in your mouth because you're a liar.
I swear to you, I'm
your
not
pants
lying.
are on fire. How
Holy
could they
shit.
not hear me?
What?
How could they not hear me? Only when I sat over there, maybe.
I don't know. I asked him if there was something wrong with his hearing.
I'm one of the loudest people in this town. Apparently there's a monster coming after us. I don't know what the hell that was.
That was Shay adjusting herself.
I can't get too hot under the collar because then she gets upset.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I do hope that at some point there is something that gets me really riled up. And I can just rant into the microphone for
I don't think I've ever
10
seen
minutes.
you riled up.
Really? Never?
No. Well,
that feels strange to me.
Well, okay, that's not true. I've seen you riled up, but I can't say it on the microphone because it would affect your job. You were missing an awful lot of and you were pretty riled up that day.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, folks, you don't get to know what I just held up. We'll say it's a flashcard, and I wrote something down on it.
Rich has notes for me when I have a mind fart.
Yep. So you were pretty riled up that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet John would attest to that.
But I would say.
I wonder if John listens to us.
You had to have seen me riled up about something comic book related.
When they sent Tim to the future, you were pretty riled up.
Yeah, that got me a bit riled up.
Actually, yeah. When you had to buy all those Convergence books.
Oh, yeah.
All 100 of them.
Yeah.
You fell for that. DC was like, ha ha ha, we're taking this Mac guy's money.
That's why I don't want to say I'm an event whore, but I do kind of need the tie-ins.
Oh, yeah, you're their target market. I'm not. I buy the heroes that I like, and I'll pick up like a Wonder Woman or Flash or something, but you're the guy that they dangle this big sack of books and go, here's the whole story.
At some point, I have to go back to those because I'm sure there were some that were decent.
I learned my lesson with 0 Hour. That was
See,
the only time I bought them all.
I wasn't around for 0 Hour.
I bought them all, and really you only needed to buy Batman, Superman, the main ones, and then the 0 Hour books.
The fact that you need to buy anything, any tie-in, to understand what's going on in the book pisses me off about it.
I wouldn't mind Marvel's events if the characters were anyway likable now.
They're not.
I mean, I don't even feel bad for the X-Men anymore. I used to feel bad for them that they were being, like, things thrown at them and stuff. And now I'm just kind of like, well, you guys have been calling these people assholes for the longest time. I mean, you can't just... If I sat outside my house and just yelled assholes at my neighbor, well, they're going to start throwing things at me. I'm surprised they don't do already.
Cyclops went evil.
He really wasn't, though. He was an extremist.
The only the only X-Man that I cared about, Nightcrawler, died.
Yeah, but he died a lot.
Uh,
and he's back.
Oh, Ultimate Nightcrawler pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
So much.
And now we got, 3 Wolverines, and none of them are Wolverines. We got... Oh, I figured out who that Wolverine was last week we were talking about. It's Ultimate Wolverine's son from the other dimension.
I didn't know
James Mitchell, his name is.
Didn't know that he had a son.
They don't even tell you what his name is at the end of X-Men Blue. He's just in the forest, and he's got Wolverine's claws and looks like Sabretooth.
Didn't Wolverine have a son in the main universe?
Yes, and that is Dakin. But Dakin is
Are you sure it wasn't Dakin?
Dakin. Tamata. It's all the same. At least I knew his name.
See, I had a joke all set up, and then I forgot the singer's name.
At least I knew his name.
Dakin. Who was the lead singer of that band?
You gotta tell me the name of the band.
Dakin.
What the fuck are you talking about? Now you're just like making duck noises. Dakin.
You don't know? I can't remember his name for the
If
life
it's not
of me.
named Metallica, Guns N' Roses.
He was the one that did that. Mama, tell your children not to. Fuck, I forgot the words now too. Jesus Christ. What was this guy's name? Glenn something. Glenn
First
Danzig.
of all,
Danzig.
that's Danzig, not
Yeah,
Dakin.
you're right. I just remembered it. Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah. I don't know why I screwed that up. I'm gonna cut that.
Wow, no! If we have to leave my brain fart in, you get the embarrassing one.
Yeah, that was a little embarrassing.
I rule. That's staying in because my friend Dave, who's big into music, both of them have listened to this podcast.
No.
Right now.
If that's the case, it's definitely going.
Right now, they're going curses.
That is now a Patreon take.
No, you're leaving that in.
Nope.
Then you have to cut the beginning.
Jesus Christ.
So that's the trade-off.
God damn it.
I know who Danzig is.
I apologize. I had a fuck up there. Okay.
Look, even Shay turned around because you didn't know who Danzig.
Oh yeah, Shay is just completely ashamed of me right now.
I am. You're not that old.
I'm sorry. I'll leave.
Well, just leave the computer then.
That's twice now.
Could you imagine you just left this recording the whole time I was here watching the Mets, yelling at them, and I'm trying not to sneeze. That would have been awkward.
It would have been a little weird. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a pause there. What should we have filled that?
Sorry, Dave.
I just have this feeling that Dave's going to be listening to this going, Jesus, lighten up on me, man.
Dave's one of my best friends. He wouldn't mind.
No?
I should say Dave F. Because I have 2 friends named Dave. All my friends have the same name. It's either Joe or Dave.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
You were the first Matt.
Really?
But my friend Joe's brother's name is Matt, so it was alright.
Oh. So. Okay.
Rob's the first Rob. Though Joe's sister's husband's name is Rob. So.
And I'm feeling worse and worse. Thank you.
Why?
I like to think that I was unique among your friends, but that turns out not to be the case.
Yeah, both of my friends in high school's name was Joe, and both of my current adult friends' names are Dave.
I have never had 2 friends of the same name.
I've never not. It's weird.
I did have a friend named Joe. Nope, that's not true. There were 2 Johns, but they spelled it differently, so it doesn't count.
And now you have a different John.
I do.
I haven't spoken to him in a while. Should give him a
Neither have
call.
I. Yeah. So shoot him out a text
bad.
or something.
Hope he listens to the podcast. We feel bad, John. Matt's shaking his head no, but I feel bad for you.
I'm shaking my head because I don't think he listens to it.
I don't think anybody that says they listen to it, because if they did, we'd have a lot more than 12 views.
I would like some feedback on the places where we post them.
That'd be nice, right?
Yeah. So I'm not hearing secondhand feedback.
I'd like somebody just to say I hate you. Just so
I
know they're listening.
Every time I talk to Rich about it, all you do is say, "Hey."
I can have Dave message you the messages he sent me.
I sound really good.
Dave would have no problem telling you that you need to speak up.
I speak as loudly as I can.
Well, you did all right today.
Without yelling.
And last week you did all right.
I thought I did, but apparently not.
He didn't listen to last week's episode.
Oh, no? Okay.
He's behind because he had Easter, and he's got a fiancé, and he's got to do wedding stuff, you know.
That's right. I keep forgetting that Star Wars was 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah. We actually had our Star Wars special on Star Wars Celebration Week.
We did.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we didn't plan it that way.
I definitely did not plan it that
I
way.
didn't even know it was that weekend until somebody came up in my feed.
I had no idea.
Yes? You have something to add? No? You don't have anything to add? Then shh. She listens to everything I say.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's one of those dogs, like, if somebody's on the phone, when I take her out to go to the bathroom, she's like, looks off in the distance, has to listen. She's a busybody. A yenta.
Doesn't surprise me. Female.
I mean, not touching that yet. Hopefully, sometime later on in the year, I'll be able to. If we're still doing this, I plan on doing it.
Hey, why not?
My friend Dave wants me to do a wrestling podcast.
All by your lonesome?
No, with him, we're going to do it via the internet.
Isn't that... Oh, you mean... Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
So we'll talk, but we actually won't be together.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You could do that now.
Yeah,
apparently.
I know. Yeah. You could use Skype, Google Hangouts.
Probably Skype. Not that I'm giving anybody my Skype name.
Okay.
Bad enough I get weird messages on my Skype when I turn it on. From
Really?
people I've never even met before, yeah.
Oh, Russian people.
Not just Russian people.
My
people
brother...
from, like, North Carolina.
My brother got a Skype message from somebody with my name, but it was in Russian.
That's fucking awesome. I would have spoken the Russian version of you.
I'm pretty sure it was a scam thing.
Well, yeah, but I still want to see Russian you.
I don't want to see Russian me.
Those big hats that they have, the fur ones.
I don't know that they all wear those, Rich.
They should, because they're awesome. You don't need a coat with those.
It's true.
Russian guys can, like, break trees with their bare hands.
Can they?
I think so. They
Yeah.
wrestle bears. That Russian guy took all his clothes off and jumped into the ice water to save that dog. You'd see no pussy American doing that.
I would do that for my dog.
Me too. My dog's looking at me like, no, you wouldn't. I'd save Shay. Right, Shay? She gets impatient with us.
Yeah, she does, but she probably has to go out to the bathroom.
Probably, knowing her.
Yep.
Because it's about time for the Met game, so whenever I want to sit down and watch TV, it's time to go for a walk.
Yeah. Well, then, I think it's time to wrap up for the day.
Just remember, folks, if it's brown, flush it down. See you later.
Well, I don't know. I think if it's yellow, let it mellow is kind of important, too. You don't
No, if it's brown, flush it down. That's it.
Okay, that's it. All right, okay, fine. See y'all next week.